Haven't done a casting video in quite some time. I think this is a pretty cool blank that I'm going to be casting up. I had a gal reach out, wanted a pen done, and then she sent me a photo of this charcuterie board or a cutting board. And I thought the concept was really cool, and the concept, it looked to me anyway when I worded it back to her that it was like the color theory between cyan and blue being the primaries, cyan, magenta, and yellow being the primary of one type of color scale, and blue, red, and yellow being the primaries of another type of color scale, and those two colors just kind of battling it out for which one's the primary of the individual color scale. Kind of an artist's way of looking at it, but I thought it was pretty neat, so we're going to do that with hybrid. So we're going to have wood in there. I've got the wood out in my oven currently, the wood and the mold warming up so that the resin interacts better, but I've got two different colors here today. This is going to be an all pigment powder, mica powder pour. There's not going to be any dyes in here, so that way I can keep these true to color. So what I've got here is I've got Eye Candy Pigments, not a sponsorship, Okinawa Blue, which is like almost a perfect cyan, kind of a turquoisey color. And then I've got Skyline Blue from Eye Candy Pigments, which is almost a true blue, maybe a shade darker, but I liked that color. I thought it looked good. It would definitely give the effect that I'm going for. Another color you could use for it would be this True Blue from Pearl-X. I think it would be another good color for it, but it's a little light. It's a little more of the sky blue than I wanted, and so I went with this Skyline Blue from Eye Candy Pigments. I'm gonna go ahead and get these started. I'm gonna mix up all of the resin I need in this cup, pour off half of it into this one, then I will add my pigments. Okinawa Blue had like this gold tinge to it. Was kind of not giving me the cyan once I added the resin to it. So I added a couple of scoops of turquoise from Pearl-X. And that turquoise kind of made it give it more of the cyan color and less of the gold. Showed a little bit more into the blue scale. Because yeah, it had like this goldish, still has just the slightest hint of like a gold luster, but it's much more close to how it looks in the container. There, you can see how it looks in the container and looks in the resin. They look a lot better. Before it had this really bright gold luster. It was not giving me the cyan feel. Now it looks more like cyan. Then we'll get my blanks out of the oven. Let's get this blue and cyan battle all turned up. Time to get this pen put together. Got a beautiful polish across this whole pen. Turned out really nice. That Cyan and Blue battle going on looks really neat. Some of it swirling in between there. Got some cyan breaking out into the blue right there. Looks really, really good. Really happy with how that's turning out. We're going to put the dark side down on this. Which puts our clip up here. I'm going to find a section I really like right there, I think. Maybe right there. Yeah. I want to highlight that cyan breaking out right there into that blue field. Put that to the side so that when they're writing, you'll be able to see it. There we go. Great fitment on the end there. Alright, we'll get the mechanism here ground down in order to fit a G2 ink refill. Okay, I got my G2 ink refill and spring from the pen in here. That's the spring from the G2 pen, not the spring from the kit, the blade kit that we use here. And then got this ground down to the proper length here. Put that in, thread it in. And test. Perfect. Just the right amount sticking out the end there. That pen is done. Nice nickel gunmetal contrast going on with the cyan blue contrast and maple burl contrast. It's got some figured maple end caps and maple burl end caps here. Went with a light and a dark. She really likes the caramel dark, and this light one had some dark in it, which most of it's turned away, but it still had some there. Turned out really, really nice. All right, I'm gonna get this shipped off to my customer.